happy Gemini season. I hope everyone had a lovely last bit of Taurus season and is ready for this exciting season of Gemini. There's a lot going on in the cosmos, definitely a month of mobility, which is a theme of Gemini, just a lot of movement and fast-paced energy, with it being the home of Mercury. So there's, I guess first I want to say that I'm going to go through I'm going to talk about Gemini for a little bit, and then I'm going to go through what I've noted as the major astrological aspects of Gemini season. I'm not going to dive into the house placements for each zodiac because there's just so much going on that it would take a really long time, so I'm just going to try to do a little synopsis of each of the major transits, and then I'll draw an overarching card for each one of the elements, and then within the signs I'll have a card for each of the signs. So the overarching card is going to be a crystal card, and then each individual sign will be given a tarot card reading, just one card or whatever, sometimes two jump out of deck. So anyway, I guess I'll jump into what Gemini season is. So definitely a time for being inquisitive, enjoying learning, and just diving into books or new areas of study, actively communicating what you're processing and ingesting at an intellectual level, having curiosity and seeking mental stimulation, whether that be traveling or through reading or areas of studying, or just having new experiences in general. Definitely the sign is just one to enjoy vibrant experiences that are just fun and exciting. Communicating seems to be at ease in a lot of mental activity, so it's really nice to have that fusion of thinking or excited thinking, just having almost a full infiltration of thoughts at all moments in time. That's too much to it's like being on like Adderall and just having to like communicate all that's being processed, but having that flow to communicate. Gemini also possesses the ability to adapt and change in different circumstances, and adapt and change quickly, having that mutable energy to really fluctuate with the sine wave of life, and embracing the duality of that too, the lows and the highs, and duality in general. It's the sign of the twins, the sign of the major arcana lovers, seeing the good and the bad, and mainly fusing the two together so that it's a full integration of both dark and light, and having that, I like to think of a helix, having that really just dance with each other. With having that duality aspect and the versatility, you'll likely be able to demonstrate your various skill sets that you have, and with that kind of shows your different sides of yourself. For example, I like to do the tarot readings, but I'm also into crystals, and I like now I'm just drawing a blank. And I'm good at math, so I feel like those are all kind of similar. This is a bad example. Anyway, so just having like being multifaceted like a crystal and being able to demonstrate all those qualities that we share or we have within ourselves. Definitely a sign that needs to touch down, but rarely touches down to the ground. So definitely can feel spacey in Gemini season, and just kind of absorbing the cosmic mental soup that occurs with everything that's being processed, and might need space for alone time, or just like emotional detachment. And Gemini's really good at giving and receiving that quality. So I noted this as like because of the astrology, the coming home season. There's a lot of planets that are returning back to their home signs. We have Venus returning to Taurus, we have Mars returning to Aries, and we have Mercury returning to Gemini. So those are all the home signs for each of those planets. And then with kind of coining that, I was thinking about the homes of like the messengers. Like I get the sense of movement, of moving mail, and just always shuffling. It goes, if you just were to follow one piece of mail through the mail corridors of trying to get from A to B, I really get this full shuffle and a lot of movement, and it made me curious about like the homes of the messengers, or like the house of the librarians. Definitely a season to really hone in on the knowledge that you possess, and take stock of the books that you have that are full of knowledge. Definitely also just one to be gregarious and communicate superficially, casually, and at an intellectual level. There's a lot of different levels that Gemini season can meet us at. If you're just looking for casual conversation, Gemini's the season to go and search for that. Or if you're looking for like a more in-depth conversation, Gemini's the season to search for that too. So very, very nice communication there, and just a lot of time to develop new areas of intellect. So I'm holding my Lemurian twin crystal. This one's nice. I guess I'll go into the aspects. There's, like I said, a lot going on. First, I guess I'll go chronologically, but there is kind of a wrap-up for one of the aspects because it happens twice. So we have our Sun sextile Jupiter the 23rd of May. This aspect is gesturing towards growth and freedom, allows for expansion of self-confidence, and aids visionary ideas, and supplies the energy to make those ideas happen, especially with Jupiter in Aries and the Sun in Gemini. There's a lot of energy there, both like visual and physical energy. I also thought of this kind of being like a find a penny, pick it up kind of aspect. There's a lot of luck and opportunism in the Sun sextile Jupiter. The next aspect or transit that actually occurs is on the 25th. We have Mars entering Aries. So Mars is going to go back into alignment of its assertive energy and back to oneself to really regain energy for the next cycle of the zodiac wheel. There's a lot of recalibration of the fire within, and that is allowing for one to level up on determination, desires, and like level up in terms of like developing more fuel for this next go around, and be able to claim new territory in whatever goals or pursuits one's actively trying to assert their willpower to. Definitely a great time for embracing eagerness and bravery. There's a lot of positive momentum in that direction, and after I think of this as being like fearless after being in the 12th house of Pisces, embracing all this unknown, hidden, secret energy that Mars goes and finds at the depths of Pisces, having to really be vulnerable to process and assert energy in that area of water. There's a lot of purification there that allows layers to be shed and to emerge more fearless and determined to gain strength and be action oriented. The next aspect is Mercury trine Pluto. We have 2 of those trines, so I'm going to focus on chatting about that when the second trine occurs in June. So just wanted to note that trine's chronologically on the 25th. There's a bunch of Venus transits, but I'm going to do a Venus transit aspects. I'm going to do a Venus and Taurus video and do the whole Venus Taurus reading separately, so I'm not going to note them, but I guess I'll mention them just for having those mentioned. So before Venus moves into Taurus, Venus in Aries will square Pluto. I actually covered that in the Venus and Aries video if you want to look at that. Then we have on the 28th, we have Venus moving into Taurus, and this will be Venus's first home. Venus rules Taurus and Libra, so Venus will be realigning with her values and embracing her desires while enjoying the simple things of Taurus life and earth abundance. Next, we have the Mars conjunct Jupiter in Aries aspect. I've rewatched some of my videos, and I'm sorry for just I say planets in I say the wrong planets sometimes, and I'm just like, what? Oh man. So I'm still trying to, hopefully Gemini season will allow for this to get get over. Anyway, so Mars conjunct Jupiter. This is bringing extra gusto to exploration. Jupiter is the sign of wisdom, exploration, higher knowledge, fortune, luck, and then Mars is that, energy. This is energy, willpower, instinct, gut feelings, met with grace. There's a really cool expansive energy to this, not only because of Jupiter, but like it's almost it's like doubling up with Jupiter energy. It's Jupiter's getting a double dose of itself is what I'm seeing. There's a lot of luck on your side, and it really influences and renders this can-do-it attitude. I actually got impressions of the King and the Knight of Wands. Both of them definitely resonate here. Even though the Knight of Wands is a little more impulsive, I kind of get that impression, just with Mars being the impulsive planet. But there's a lot of charisma in that impulsion, and or that impulse. And then the King of Wands is a little more subdued and deliberate with energy exertion, but is accurate, but still has that same vigor and willpower. So with that, definitely a time for asserting one's beliefs, and I think like natural leaders will arise with this energy. Beliefs in like spirituality in all areas of life, really. And I'm actually interested for this transit because I want to see what pops up collectively, because with that assertion, it kind of it's doubled too. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not, people are just like really like almost forcing beliefs on other people. So that's on the 29th. So it'll be interesting to see that kind of, see if that energy arises or what happens at a collective, public level. Really being brazen in new experiences and having a ton of passion fueling projects and adventures. There's definitely a willingness to charge into things, like that King of Knights feel, and having like that I keep on using luck, but there's a lot of fortune in it. Really, it errs on the side of defeating all odds. Just having that kind of energy that really is favorable and auspicious when trying new things as well. There's a lot of amplified growth and optimism, and just the energy itself is just pairing wisdom with that confidence that Mars brings and that willpower. So that's very much wisdom of King of Knights with the confidence, courage, and willpower of Knight of Wands. there is, when researching, you do come across the, the opposite side of the good, which is we have to talk about the duality in Gemini season, and it's just asking to be cautious or of like overextending oneself. There's like with the expansion of energy, you could feel like you want to start so many new things, especially in Gemini season, but are you like overexerting your energy there? You need that King of Wands, where should I allot this time and energy to kind of attitude. And also being cautious of haphazardous actions that are made out of impulsivity, or just not really, or even having doubt, just not seeing the two sides of things. My friend has mentioned this before, that things can be untrue and true at the same time, and I really noticed that with this asserting of beliefs, or attribute of this aspect. The next aspect is the new moon in Gemini, and that's on May 30th. I will be presenting my fairy pendies that I have not uploaded to my website. So I'm actually going to sell them all for $10, not like all of them, but each one's only $10. So I'll put the link to my Instagram, where I'll have the new moon selection if you happen to watch this and want to purchase and support purchase a pendy and support my small business. So next we have in June we'll have, and I forgot to say happy birthday Geminis. Happy birthday Geminis. In June we'll have Mercury direct on the 3rd, and then we have the Saturn retrograde on the 4th. I actually wrote a few things on Saturn retrograde. You'll have to excuse me while I turn my page to my notes in the calendar. Okay. So Saturn's retrograde is in Aquarius. Typically, Saturn retrogrades are based around reviewing boundaries, just kind of accepting challenges and delays. Saturn is the humbler of time and career or just life growth in general. So Saturn retrograde asks us to slow down, assess our goals, really focus on budgeting, planning, and prioritizing, just keeping things simple in terms of responsibility, and kind of just, I really get the sense of prioritizing things here. So that's on the 4th. I don't have the, I forgot how long Saturn retrograde is. I could go look it up real quick, but I'm not going to do that. And I also wanted to put the Mars conjunct Jupiter I think it was in 2020, late 2020. I'll have to research that. The next aspect is the second of the two Mercury trine Pluto. So this aspect really brings in a lot of psychic qualities and intuitive messages, especially into hidden realms of knowledge, or just secrets in general, secrets that are withheld for power is a theme of one Pluto, but typically Pluto with Mercury aspects or contracts. So definitely have keen discernment at this time. I feel like it's kind of like a bookend scenario too. Like it starts on, there's 25th, and then we have on the 10th, we have the second one. So it feels like kind of like bookends, which is very Gemini. So having that keen discernment probably through this time period into forces, and also having the flow for communicating these things when acquired, or just like being able to communicate psychic messages. This is also a time to really hone in on knowledge is empowering. People say knowledge is power, but I'm thinking empowering is the way to view this. Really just knowing that the knowledge that you hold is crucial to everyone in the world, makes you unique and resourceful, and just, you know, should fill you with a sense of accomplishment, and should feel empowering to know that you know things. Definitely Gemini. To know that you know things. And also there's like a sake of knowing things just to know things here. It's really interesting. And then when so the first trine, okay. Oh yeah, because Mercury is in retrograde the first one, and then direct in the second one. So there's I feel like there's something that needs to be like figured out in that time period. Like it's really interesting how the Pluto Mercury and this Mercury retrograde in general. So definitely perceptive time period. So be aware of whatever arises then. It's also just a contract that really makes you aware of like just like the secrets of language in general, and like maybe even like old languages, seeing the roots of words, and just knowing the power of that words have, and the power of wordplay is what I particularly got from this because of just the Gemini season and the witty wordplay of Gemini. But yeah, just having like this awareness of the power of words and being able to like command attention through articulating what I think is knowledge in this aspect. The next aspect is Venus conjunct Uranus on the 11th, and then we'll have on the 13th we'll have Mercury entering Gemini. So Mercury's returning home to just throw papers everywhere. Definitely a time period for having an overactive mind and just having incessant thoughts, but also to like recharge your intellectual power and kind of recalibrate for what you want to study or what you're actively studying and want to research. Good energy for researching or starting new research, and just maybe even like with research too, it could even just be learning something new, or just like even working with like working with new things, painting, building, just having that like versatility of the machine that the mind is. Also just heightened seeking mental stimulation and having that like need to know more attitude, especially after the Mercury trine Pluto. There's always like an obsessive need to know things with that aspect. And then I thought this was funny, but having like a knowledge boner is definitely Mercury and Gemini theme. The next aspect is the full moon in Sagittarius, and then on the 16th, oh, that was the 14th. On the 16th of June, we have the Sun trine Saturn. So this aspect is really geared around being your own boss and like it's a flow for your own inner authority. We just had the square, which is, meeting obstacles in that area and really seeing where you need to assess your, what your, I guess, need for external reinforcement is, or just like if you're, doing what you're doing career-wise for trying to make timeless contributions. And then if you're, seeking that, this is a flow towards having your own inner authority versus seeking that external reinforcement. It's a good day for practicing your spiritual disciplines and aligning your future steps and your goals. Definitely a trine really helps one overcome those obstacles that could have been presented from the square, and overcome with ease. And since this trine is in the air signs, overcoming using your intellect. There could have been restrictions based on fears that had control over you, from like maybe authority standpoint, or just Saturnian themes of shadow aspects such as like self-denial or self-doubt, and there's just a lovely energy for facing any of those obstacles or fears and overcoming them using your mindset. The sun will be on the same day the sun will be square Neptune. This square really presents a conflict of self and the illusion that Neptune brings. You could just see there's a lot of blurriness in this aspect. There's potential for just like being confused of yourself or feeling like lost at sea, while looking for the treasure that like Neptune promises, but having especially with the sun in Gemini and Neptune in Pisces, there's no direction there whatsoever. It's really just kind of like meandering and potential for escaping the mundanity of life with this aspect. It also kind of yields an inability to commit because of like deceptions that the future could bring. or just Neptune bubbling up, the Neptune square bubbling up deceptions of the future, like trying to think of different avenues, but none of them are really, like, you really have to accept reality and work through it in reality for those things to be manifested properly. Because, like, there's, the grandiose fantasies of Neptune that really seem fleeting, and yeah, those things can occur, but there's also deceptions that arise with having a grandiose mindset, and really having to meet things with, like, iterations or permutations. Another aspect of this square is having just, like, blurred boundaries of self, maybe just, like, really leaking on energy, or just not really knowing where to, kind of like what I was mentioning with Mars and Jupiter, not really knowing where to allot yourself, or having too much absorption from external influences. And I say all that because the square presents a challenge, but there's beauty in the trine. So this is definitely a day to assess reality and self, and see where your big dreams can really be manifested. So that, we have, the rest are just Venus aspects. So the next aspect on the 18th is Venus squared Saturn, and then we have Venus sextile Neptune on the 19th, and then we have the Venus trine Pluto on the 21st. So I will do the Venus reading and post that when we have Venus entering Taurus on the 28th. I think that's this week too, so I might do that this week. So now I get to do the cards. I'm really excited. So like I said, I will do an overarching card for the sign, like the elements. So we'll start with air, and then I'll do a card for each of the signs and the elements. So I'm just going to shuffle these really quick. And so, yeah, happy birthday, Gemini. Happy fellow air season Libra and Aquarius too. So this card will be for the air signs. We'll pick a crystal ally card to see what crystals want to say and have air signs focus on, and then we'll go into the individual cards. So card for the air signs for Gemini season. Ooh, this looks like the air element. I think there was an air element last week and I said it was water, and then I looked up, this is the air element. So we have inner peace, we have tourmaline. Oh, tourmaline's so cool and colorful. Definitely get a lot of color and visionary aspects here, and then also balance of masculine, feminine energies. That's definitely a theme of tourmaline. Super colorful and looks like a lot of orbs and meditative energies that could be present. Inner peace for the air signs, so pretty. I'll post the Crystal Allen message in the comments like I did for the weekly. So Gemini, let's put a card for you. Gemini, for Gemini season. Please and thank you. I feel like the talking to the cards is definitely a theme of Gemini season, so gonna have to talk more to the cards. And oh, here we go. King of Pentacles. So Gemini, definitely seeing some abundance and resourcefulness, leadership with that resourcefulness, and just having material and physical well-being and health here. I'm seeing a lot of health in this, living a well and healthy life, having that establishment rooted in you being literally rooted in power here. I'm gonna put the card back in here. That's really all I have to say, Gemini. Hope that's okay. You guys are definitely to the point anyway, so have a great Gemini season full of exciting abundance. Okay, next we have Libra. Libra for Gemini season. Let's see what the air is up to. I always look at the cards, but okay, we have, I'll take the top card. Okay, Four of Swords. There is rest here. This is a mental card asking for mental rest and stillness. Really pairs well with inner peace, seeking that peace within yourself through meditation or just resting. This isn't like, there's no engaging in turmoil here or strife. There's just, you know, relaxing and recalibrating for another season. So I hope you have a great Gemini season, Libra. Thank you. Next we have Aquarius. I'm going to shuffle again. I'm not sure if I need to shuffle every time, but I'm going to do it anyway. So Aquarius for Gemini season. Fellow air sign. What pairs with inner peace? I like the inner peace for Gemini. This is the Aries, or the Aquarius, but inner peace definitely pairs with Pentacles. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. This is knowing that abundance is it's around the corner. I mean, the timing aspect of this is, you know, slow and steady wins the race here, but the efforts are noticed, and it's promising. There's a lot of promise and stability and security in this card. Definitely some movement still occurring, not necessarily established yet. There's a lot of movement with this energy, but also notes a time to slow down. The horse is stalled here. This is really stopping and taking in, one, the scenery, and two, the thing that you're prioritizing and holding above the horse. This is holding something of priority. I hope you have a great Gemini season, Aquarius. Next we'll do the water signs. So I'll put the Crystal Ally card back up and kind of do like a little shuffle. So water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Hello, here is your Crystal Ally deck for Gemini season. Let's see what the crystals have to say and want you to focus on. And this is, I think this is air, but it also looks like water. I'm getting confused with these, so I said this in the air one, in air element. Hope Spinel. Wow, I love how this is like the sun, and there's like this is like the angel heavens shining through the opening of the clouds, opening the heavens. There's appears to be some kind of having like faith in the sun energy. This is super, I get like the airhead inner peace, and this feels really peaceful. Hope comes with like a sweet grace that's peaceful, and but it has that promising aspect to it. And with hope we also have faith, and having faith in ourselves, and it looks like with the red there's a lot of like earth energy here too, but probably with mental. I want to figure out if this is the water, or I'll just look really quick. Oh wait, I have the book all the way over there, so yeah, okay. So we'll start with Cancer. Cancer card for Gemini season. What does Cancer need to know? Need to know is a Gemini theme. Oh, and we have a water card. We have 7 of Cups. Right now this is reading as intuitive messages, psychic impressions. There's a lot of duality here. This is a card of illusions and deception, especially with like things in the material world, but like knowing and seeing that in the material world and processing it as that. So having that truth be resonating in what you see as being deception. There's some definitely cloudiness here. There's cloudiness, but there's also there's a lot of light shining through. Definitely not a time to put your emotions into these avenues, and in addition, a time to be extra aware and perceptive. So thank you, Cancer. I hope you have a great Gemini season. I'm going to shuffle and read for Scorpio. I was going to shuffle again, but go for Scorpio, Gemini season. See what Scorpio needs to hear. Ooh. King of Cups. Flowing with the water. This is having composure in all areas of emotional fluctuation. Having balance and ease and control over emotional realms, being intuitive and compassionate and understanding. Really also kind of being isolated, but for a purpose with the leadership role. But knowing that your relationships are sailing. So thank you, Scorpio. I hope that you have a lovely Gemini season. Now I'll read for Pisces. Hi Pisces, happy Gemini season. Let's get a card for Pisces. I'm going to only take the top card. And we have Four of Pentacles. This is keeping things to yourself. It's really interesting. The circles are just really a theme here. This is having a foundation from what you've created or have earned, and from there working upwards, but kind of holding that with yourself and kind of purposefully not giving because of you don't have to. This is this is keeping things to yourself because you've earned it, and there's a future here. There's nobility in this sometimes, and definitely a a future that will yield more opportunities because of kind of keeping things to yourself at the moment. So that's all that I have for Pisces. Thank you, Pisces. I hope you have a wonderful Gemini season. Now we'll read for the fire signs for Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So hi, fire signs. I hope you have a lovely Gemini season. I hope you had a lovely Aries season. Here we're in the air, and let's get a card for the fire signs. See what the crystals, that was just didn't go. See what the crystals have to say and want you to focus on. Fire signs, what crystal wants to be presented for the fire signs in Gemini season. There we go. Forgiveness. 𝒱ᴏ. There's a lot of green healing here, energy, a dove sign for the water signs had hope, and I feel like each of the crystal allies are just like compiling onto each other. It's funny. Forgiveness, yeah, get a lot of hope with the dove, and I'm just getting a lot of healing here. It seems to be heart-centered healing. I think this is a water sign. I've had the same exact border, which I think is water, but it could be air. I'm getting confused by this, so I'll note that in the comments. But it also seems to be a lot of emotional healing that needs to occur, and really forgiving oneself allows for forgiveness of others to be readily available. So that's the energy of the fire signs. I will draw for Aries first. Happy Gemini season, Aries. We're in your second house, and you're ready to take on the rest of the zodiac after having your birthday. So let's get a card for Aries for Gemini season. Okay, I think that, yeah. So we'll get 9 of Swords. This is having some mental anxiety and fretting over shadows and things that are mentally disturbing your sleep. There's definitely a lot of energy for, you know, when like you want someone to just know that they should feel at peace, but you just don't see them at peace. There's a lot of energy of that. Whether this be you or another, I just want to note that this is a comfort blanket, and it definitely needs to be pointed out or be brought into awareness. I'm getting the sense of like a lot of mental disturbances, or just having an overactive mind during Gemini season. That could also be a theme, just like having so many thoughts that it's just like keeping you up at night, not being able to sleep for that. And it's really hard with that that's an annoying energy for sure. So I really hope that this forgiveness arises, and if that's related, forgiving yourself for having those thoughts, or maybe have to forgive others. The zodiac is on your side, or just the planets in astrology. There we go. Astrology's on your side. Okay. Thanks, Aries. I hope you have a lovely Gemini season. Now I'll read for Leo. Hey, Leo. Happy Gemini season. I hope it's super fun. Definitely pairs well with your exuberant energy. Let's get a card for Leo. What does Leo need to focus on or need to hear for Gemini season? Okay, we have the Five of Swords here. This is a no-win battle. There seems to be some kind of sharp, jagged clouds that render maybe some somewhat harsh intellectual battle. There's a sign of feeling defeated, but also knowing that maybe you're defeated by something that was unfair from the get-go. So a no-win situation, and this, in terms of this card, is, you know, feeling at loss, but this person who won didn't really win anything. Definitely a time to just accept what's going on, and live to fight another day in this. So I hope you have a great... Oh, and here I want to mention, with seems to be some, could be some forgiveness that needs to be had after a battle or conflict like that. So I hope that you have a great Gemini season. So thank you, Leo. Hi, Sagittarius. I hope that you have a lovely Gemini season and are having a lovely Gemini season. Let's get a card for Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to hear or be aware of during Gemini season? This is your opposite, so definitely a time for embracing the duality of self, not only because of the Gemini season twin aspect, but just knowing things that are the opposite, but similar at the same time. So what does Sagittarius need to hear for Gemini season? Okay, Page of Swords. This is a new idea or mental pursuit. Definitely falls into the theme of Gemini season. This is being able to move swiftly and definitely get like a lot of light, not only from the colors here, but just like a lot of lightness here. Being ready to move in whatever direction. There isn't like, we can't tell where his next move is, so there's a lot of loftiness here. And having these, I always get the sense of like billowy clouds as like absorbing of new knowledge, like water's knowledge. So yeah, you definitely just like get a light feel here. I feel like there's something that hasn't been accomplished, and you're moving forward here with the Page of Swords. So I hope that you have a lovely Gemini season, Sagittarius. Thank you. And now I'll read for the Earth signs. So hello, Earth signs. I need to shuffle the Crystal Ally cards really quick. This would be, yeah, so I went through all the elements. I hope that you have a lovely Taurus season and you're able to really ground yourself and align with what roots you. So we'll get a Crystal Ally card, see what the crystals have to say for the Earth signs, and then I'll go into each one of the individual signs. So Earth signs, Gemini season, what do the crystals have to say? Can we get a Earth sign crystal? There we go. Selenite, higher self. Wow, there's a lot of color and really merging with rainbow body, and there's a nice, we got that duality here, the duality of higher self and self, and just like a full fusion of the two, but also having the two separate realms of that. Really pretty. I think this is the air sign. Okay, this is the air. If you watch any other ones, I was confused as to what the border was for the other ones. And looks like a lot of chakra activations here. So Taurus, we'll see what Taurus has for Gemini, what needs to be heard for or brought to awareness for Taurus during Gemini season. Hope that you had a lovely new season, Taurus. You have the Sun. This is a lot of optimism, just having the joy of being and having a flourishing life and opportunities that are ahead of you. There's a lot of innocence and novelty here, with the wisdom of the Sun, and an area for growth here in movement with the child. Bunch of enthusiasm and just joy and bliss is radiating from the cards right now. Especially with the higher self, I get the higher self activation with the Sun. It's just perfect alignment there. This is almost as if this is the Sun, and there's kind of like a symmetry with that imagery. So it looks super lovely. Thank you, Taurus. I hope you have a lovely Gemini season. Now I'll read for Virgo. Happy Gemini season, Virgo. I hope that you're enjoying Gemini season and you had a lovely Earth season. And Taurus, let's get a card for Virgo. What does Virgo need to hear or be aware of during Gemini season? Card for Virgo. I almost wanted to get out. Ooh, I don't think so. Almost there. Come on. Cards. I'm feeling like I've just talked to the cards the whole time to get a card. Card, Virgo, Gemini season. Virgo, Gemini season. Virgo, Gemini season. Virgo, Gemini season. Definitely a compatible season for you, Virgo, knowing that you are analytical and there's a great time period for using that critical thinking in areas of study, learning new things. Ooh, King of Cups. Scorpio had this. This is emotional composure and really being in control of your emotions and having a leadership role because of that composure. Not letting the waves rock your throne of power, and being somewhat isolated and in a sense kind of unapproachable, but still having your relationship sailing. Sometimes this energy of having like intuition and compassion and understanding really has to have an isolated aspect to maintain energy, especially if there's like alignment with higher self. There could be some activations that really require you to process and lead by yourself, and really endure those emotional activations is what I'm getting. So I hope that you have a lovely intuitive Gemini season. Thank you for letting me read for you, and I guess the last one is Capricorn. Capricorn, hi, happy Gemini season. Get a card for you during this season of Gemini. So card for Capricorn for the Gemini season. This kind of flew out, so I'm gonna take this. This is heartache and really feeling heartache. This is not a comfortable feeling, and this is also experiencing a loss and having to go through everything that loss brings, which is dismal mindset, gloomy environment, and emotions, having your heart weighed down from the loss. But I will say this is knowing that there is this is done. This is no longer, since you've recognized it and it's being brought up, this is moving. There's an aspect of moving forward and really allowing this to be an experience from your higher self so that you can merge and be who you're supposed to be. So that's all I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that you have a lovely Gemini season, and thank you so much for letting me read for you. Thanks.